Welcome to Rev Trev NFL. I'm so glad you're here because I don't know about you, but I am a diehard fantasy football legend, everyone. Oh, I forgot to let everyone know that I don't know about you, but I'm all into drafts, draft strategy, trying to figure out this year's trends and all that kind of stuff. If you're like that, by the way, I just got to drop something. Let me grab it. Sorry. I want to just remind everyone that if you want to compete and contend, and this is why I dropped, and win some championships, I don't know if you can see that well, win some fantasy championships, everyone. If you're going to win some fantasy championships, you have to think about these things, and I'm a huge person that believes that consensus rankings are absolutely stupid. Absolutely. No, sorry. I shouldn't say absolutely stupid. They are stupid in many ways. There are some values to consensus rankings. Okay. There's values, but if you want to compete and contend and win a championship, we need to talk about this topic before you enter your drafts, before you do your research. It's very, very, very important. Just a reminder, I do passionate and realistic NFL content. I do all kinds of content. As you can see, I'm a Packers fan, but I love the NFL. I love fantasy football, and so I love talking it. So let's talk about it today because, I mean, is it really stupid? But I want to show you how dumb this is. And that you just shouldn't blindly go into this thinking that you're going to be totally fine, okay? Because we want to just dive into this in the way that this one. Have you ever asked yourself this question? Did they all just go into the same ranking room, or did they share the same Google sheet or Excel spreadsheet? It just seems like, have you noticed that all the projections are similar? Why are all these rankings so similar? It makes no sense. I would think that each major fantasy football ranking system would be very different from one another, but it's year after year. It's almost like they went into the same fantasy football rankings room or they just shared their same sheet or Excel spreadsheet like that. It just literally feels like that every single year. And I keep thinking, why is this guy ranked above this guy? Why? And what's the reasoning? And you have all these people on these podcasts, and they're going around saying, listen, you need to follow me for more league winning advice. And it's like, yeah, but you're like just like the other guy. You're just like the other guy. So what's so different? Why should I be listening to you over you? Because it's basically the same thing. And this is why I'm so annoyed year after year at the consensus rankings. And I just don't believe it. In fact, I don't follow the consensus rankings anymore. I may follow a certain fantasy football analyst that I like better than the other, has better reasoning, has better thought process, that doesn't follow the flow of everyone else. I might follow that, but I'm no longer going to the big boards and going, what does ESPN say? What does NFL.com say? What does Sleeper say? What does Yahoo say? What does Fantasy Pro say? Like, you can just name whoever you want to say, right? Because they're supposed to be projecting. There's also projections for this season, right? But they just use the past. And they tell you not to do that, but they follow the past. If you look at why they rank someone higher than someone else, it's because of the past. And they're like, but don't do that. You need to be predicting for this season. They don't do that. Now, I've heard people say, like a Matthew Berry say, what's most likely to happen, the risk management, let's talk about those things. And I agree with a number of those philosophies, but you need to be careful that you're not into herd or sheep mentality. Okay, everyone? Because it can lead you down the wrong path. It totally can. Like, you're going to lose leagues because you didn't do the research, right? So, and what they do is they use stats to manipulate their reasoning, and it sounds brilliant. On Tuesdays, that's wrong. That would be baseball. Okay, on Monday nights, the last 5 years, Patrick Mahomes has done this. This is a totally different team than 5 years ago. I don't care what he did 5 years ago. Even 3 years ago is a lot of times a completely different team. If you rank Devontae Adams by his past, 3 years ago, he was playing with Aaron Rodgers, everyone. That's what we're talking about. And then now we're talking, he's got Gardner Minshew, O'Connell is his quarterback. It's different. And so they do play a little bit of a factor in these things, but you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. So I want us to look at the consensus rankings. I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about here, okay? So let me just bring this up. First of all, I need to bring this down. Okay. I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so I got to move over here so you can see. So I just used Fantasy Pros, ESPN, Sleeper, and Yahoo, some of the bigger name people, okay? Look at how similar these lists are. Now, the farther you get down, the more it is different. I want to talk to you about the top 4 names. Let's talk about the top 4 names for now, okay? Consensus everywhere. Everywhere, everyone, is Josh Allen is number 1. And normally I'm like all in, right? I'm all in. I'm like, yes, absolutely. Josh Allen should be the number 1 quarterback, taken off the board. Whatever round you feel that's worthy, that's up to you, right? That's up to you. So, and what people do is they say, well, look at the last number of years. He's had incredible stats, right? Incredible stats. So it's like, yes, but what about this year? And this is what I want to talk to you about. I just don't think that Josh Allen should be considered just the standalone. Like, why isn't someone else higher than Josh Allen on any of these lists? His wide receiver core has been depleted. He's got Coleman, Shakir, it's got Kincaid back. Who else do they have back? Like, there's so many people that they have back, right? And so I'll just bring it up. But the point is, I'm making the point. It doesn't matter. Okay. How do you think that Josh Allen's production is going to be the same or better than last year? It makes 0 sense. And you say, well, he's got great rushing yards and he scores lots of quarterback touchdowns. Yes, he does. But he also, like, I don't know, is he like Favre and he just makes every wide receiver better around him? Like, he doesn't matter. Throw in Javon Walker. Throw in, you know what I mean? Like, all these guys' names, and they're no good anywhere else except for in Green Bay, right? Like, is that what Josh Allen is? I mean, he's very inaccurate. Did he lead the league? He was one of the top players in the NFL in interceptions. That's probably going to continue. Will he score as many touchdowns rushing that he did last year? I'm not sure. Those are the hard ones to predict. Maybe he'll rush more because he doesn't have good wide receivers. Maybe guys will drop the passes. I don't know. But to me, looking at this thing, Josh Allen, number one, no doubt about it. I'm like, this is kind of strange, don't you think? And you have Jalen Hurts. Great talent as well. Rushes his legs. Do you think that the tush push was one of the reasons why he gets so many fantasy points? And when you're looking at quarterbacks, you're looking for quarterbacks that are going to get 400 plus fantasy points. And if you get that, then you want to be getting them earlier, and that's where the value comes in. Which one of these quarterbacks on this top 15 list is going to be quarterbacks who score over 400 points, and that's who you target? Now, I get the rushing yards matter, but it's the rushing touchdowns. Is the tush push going to continue to be great without Jason Kelce in Philadelphia? I mean, I think he's a really talented center. That really helped that. Is it just a no-brainer they're going to continue to do that? Let's talk about. I mean, because Jalen Hurts, talented. God, he's like I would say maybe Hurts should be above Josh Allen. He's got way better weapons. You got AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith, you've got just start naming them. Goddard. He's got a way better receiving core than Josh Allen. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes, okay? Now, this one, it's interesting. On most of these lists, he's either third or fourth. Patrick Mahomes is a superstar. He's a stud. He's back-to-back champion. He's an MVP, Super Bowl MVP, all those things, okay? Not denying his talent. What I'm denying is the talent around him. Now, the scheme, the coaching's there, so he's always going to have a good year, except for last year. Did you know that last year Patrick Mahomes was quarterback, I believe, 7 or 8? 7 or 8, everyone. Like, that's what we're talking about here. He was quarterback 7 or 8. I'm just going to confirm that. So, Allen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He was quarterback 8. Guys in front of Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff. You know who is right behind Mahomes? Tua Tagovailoa. My goodness, everyone. And so what people are saying is that's just a glitch year. What if it's not? And you're taking with your third ranking, you got Mahomes there. It's like, you know why? It's because in the past he's done it this way. Well, maybe it's a new trend. Maybe this wide receiver core is not fixed. Then let's talk about Lamar Jackson. It actually refers to Jalen Hurts as well. Lamar Jackson, superstar, super talented. He's the new version of Michael Vick. Everyone loved Michael Vick, okay? Actually, I think I have the Michael Vick right here. Okay, here's the Michael Vick. All right, look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. This guy's awesome, okay? So you got Michael Vick here, right? Oh well, Michael Vick's dead. He got injured, just like his career. Okay, so Lamar Jackson doesn't get the most passing yards, but he had 3,600 passing yards last year, only 24 passing touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. Like, very, very good that way for interceptions. But guys, 821 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns rushing. And that's where it's like, wow, there's something good. Now, Hurts and Allen both had 15 rushing touchdowns. Shows how dominant those two guys were on the ground. But they had 300 or 200 yards less than Lamar Jackson, right? Now, Lamar Jackson's had injury histories, so he's a risk. And he's also, at times, a boomer bust. I've seen him score 40 one week, and I've seen him score in the teens. Like that, he's got risk. Speaking of risk, look at the number 5 quarterback, everyone. Anthony Richardson, rookie quarterback last year, who was tearing up the league, got injured. And he's 5th. Well, when he did play, he was on pace to blah, blah, blah. I understand. It's good logic for the most part. What if he's injury prone? What if he's not fully healthy? I think you should watch him before you start drafting. Watch what he looks like in preseason and see if he's healthy. Because I don't know. I understand the upside of Richardson. Now, here's a guy that I think number 6, Stroud, is getting a lot of love, and he should. And he should. In his rookie campaign, had a great year. You can't look at the past years for him because he's only had one, just like Jordan Love, right? These are the 2 guys on the list, and you're like, I don't know. Are they going to do what they did last year, or are they going to do something new? They're going to be better, regress, stay the same. Stroud is surrounded by talent. You've got Collins, you've got Tank Dell, you got I feel like I'm missing the third guy. Who's the third guy? And then you have Dalton Schultz that's there. You've got Joe Mixon who can catch balls out of the backfield. I mean, there's a lot to like about Stroud. I can see a world where Stroud's in the top 5. I can see a world where he's 7th or 8th. And then there's Joe Burrow. He's basically 3rd in every consensus ranking. Now, I'm going through everyone here. I probably shouldn't be, but Joe Burrow is surrounded by talent. Before the injury, he was up there. Everyone wanted him. Dynasty leagues, you wanted this guy. And it's like he doesn't get the rushing yards, but he can throw. He is accurate. He is amazing. And he's got Chase and T. Higgins, and you name him. He's got Burton there. It is just loaded with talent. Joe Burrow. And then the guy that everyone loves to hate, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott. Well, guys, Dak is back. And here's the thing about Dak. He was 3rd last year in quarterbacks. 3rd. Nobody's talking about this, everyone. Not one person is talking about this, and I think that is so weird. Now he's 8th on everyone's list. Look at the Yahoo one. He's at 10th. He was 3rd last year. Maybe that's your guy there. I don't know. Then there's Kyler Murray, really tough. Got Marvin Harrison Jr., unproven, but super phenom, right? Jordan Love. Jordan Love was the number 5 quarterback last season at 5, and they got him at 10. Yahoo's got him at 9. Brock Purdy, out of nowhere, Mr. Irrelevant, is surrounded by talent. Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Ayuk for now if he doesn't get traded. You know what I mean? Like just Christian McCaffrey. Does not matter who he throws the ball to. He's going to produce points. But then you got Daniels. But look at these lists. They're almost identical, everyone. They're almost identical. How come they're almost identical? Why aren't these really different? Let's quickly look at the wide receivers, okay? Look at these. Lamb across the board except for again sleeper, right? You got Chase as the consensus number 3. You've got Jefferson and St. Brown here, okay? They're then you got A.J. Brown, consensus number 6. Nakua, basically close. I mean, it's Nakua and Wilson 7 and 8, and then it starts getting crazy. And this is where I don't mind the arguments, okay? Devontae Adams, ESPN, 9th. Yahoo's got him 10. He's got no quarterback, everyone, right? Sleeper has him 11. And then where is he on? Oh, I must have messed the Fantasy Pros up. Let me just look, see if I have the Fantasy Pros one properly. Fantasy Pros, wide receiver. I must have messed this up. Where is Devontae Adams is actually 16th. There you go. I like that. I like that. Here's a guy on a list that is always consistent, always produces, and never gets enough love. Mike Evans. Look at his stats when you go back to look how many years, fantasy-wise, he's had monster years or consistent years, and here he's no higher than 10th. He's 11th on Sleeper. He's 12th on Yahoo. You know what I mean? He's 12th on ESPN. But these lists are pretty similar, aren't they? Did they all just sit in a room? Let's just talk about tight ends, okay? It's basically Laporta. Number one, the guy had 10 touchdowns last year. The thing, though, is Kelsey got injured and he came second. Kelsey came second, everyone. It's wild to think of. Andrews and McBride are going back and forth because Andrews has a hard time keeping healthy. McBride had a great season last year. There's Kittle, who always gets passed up on. He's either 5 or 7, 5 or 7, right? Then you have Pitts. We don't know what to do. He's got to be good finally, right? He's been the biggest bust for years. What's he going to do? Kirk Cousins is there now. That's awesome. When is Kirk Cousins going to play week 1? I hope he does. I can see why people like Pitts this year, and I have no problem if you want to select him in these spots there. But look how similar these lists are, everyone. The farther you go down on tight ends, the more it gets a little crazy, but it's the same names. Freiermuth is 14th, right? You got Schultz in the 13 to 15 range, maybe 12. Bowers is a really hard one to predict because, again, on the Raiders, bad place to land. Not a great quarterback. Bowers could be impressive. We don't know. Ferguson plays with Dak Prescott. I mean, like, Ingram had a good year last year. Had a great year, actually. But it's just hard to predict. It's hard to predict. In fact, depending on how your league is set up, Ingram was the number 2 tight end in fantasy football last season, but it was really close. It was him and Kelsey battling it out, him and Hawkinson battling it out. Depends on how your format is. I just don't understand why, like, we have to be careful, right? We have to be careful that you just don't follow it blindly because they use those stats to manipulate. So I want to encourage you with a couple words of advice, okay? You're like, Trevor, you're telling people not to listen to the advice of people on YouTube, but then you're going to, yes, let me show you. You use your own brain. Don't blame the experts when they fail you because you didn't watch the guide. You didn't look at the stats. You didn't look at the trends. You didn't see what's going on. Do your own research. Don't blame the experts. Don't be just a stupid sheep. Okay? The other thing is know your league scoring and roster requirements, okay? So know your scoring. Is it a PPR league? Is it 0.5 PPR? Is it full point PPR? Is it a tight end elite or premium league? Is it a super flex league? You have to start 2 quarterbacks. Changes the values. You got to know these things, everyone. Then you got people like 0 RB only. Here's the stats and the data. If you do this and blah, blah, blah. Have you ever seen anyone with a 0 RB build win in your league? I've not. I play like 20 leagues a year. I've never once seen 0 RB work. It does not work universally. Yes. Have some people won their leagues because of it? Yes. Now, if you want to play hero RB leagues, okay, I'm okay. I'm more there yeah, there's all kinds of different ways. There's all kinds of different strategies. It's not just one strategy that'll make you win. Okay? Don't fall into the trap that's like 0 RB or nothing. But you do have to look at it and go, okay, is Jalen Hurts and is Josh Allen, are they actually going to get 400 fantasy points? If you believe that that Patrick Mahomes is going to bounce back. This is the year you want him because it's the cheapest you're going to get him. You're going to get him in round 3 or in round 4. And if you think he's going to be over 400 points, then this is your strategy you should do. In my most important league that I've awarded the championship 4 times now, it was whoever had Patrick Mahomes went to the finals. So last year, I'm like, I got to get him. So I took Patrick Mahomes first over everyone, and then he was 8th. And it killed me because they took him too early. I think waiting on quarterback. Guys, think about this for a second. Kirk Cousins was on pace to throw 6,000 yards last year and then got hurt. Had a massive injury. That's insane. Aaron Rodgers, you can get in like round 10, 11, 12, 13. I got Aaron Rodgers last night in a league at round 14. I didn't pick up a kicker. I just went and got him. By the way, I hate leagues with kickers. It was a public league that I went into. Aaron Rodgers in the 14th round. He could be a league winner. Former MVP, full healthy season. He might be like that. That's what you got to think about. What if Patrick Mahomes is only quarterback 5, but Aaron Rodgers is quarterback 3, and you got all those better players in the draft before him, or Kirk Cousins, or whoever you're going to put in there, right? Tua, you can get so late. But know your league scoring and your roster requirements. And then this is the thing about consensus rankings. Use your platform rankings to your advantage. People literally just follow the rankings. They don't do their own research. They go by what everyone else says, and they say, oh, now this is the thing. So say you want, let's say, Alvin Kamara, okay? You're like, I think Alvin Kamara is a top 10 running back. Okay, cool. That's fine. But you can get him in round 6. So don't draft him in round 3 because your platform's ranking, even if you draft him a round earlier, round 5, go for it. But use your platform's rankings to your advantage. Trust me when I say that. It's absolutely important to use your platforms. And as you can see, different platforms have a little bit different rankings. So most of them are the same. And then they start changing a little bit there, and know your rankings. So I have tons of leagues in Sleeper, tons of leagues in Yahoo. I've been in ESPN leagues. I've been in NFL.com leagues. I've been in all kinds of different leagues. Okay? Know them. Use it to your advantage because you can get high quality players later in rounds. Okay? And then if you're in a league that you're with people for a while, know the tendencies of your league mates. Okay? Know their tendencies. You know, he loves running back. He overvalues wide receiver. He loves getting top end quarterbacks or top end tight ends. He goes way too early. Use it to your advantage. And sometimes you even draft guys to trade to them later. Be smart, everyone. Be smart. So I do think that consensus rankings are stupid. I really do. I'm shocked at how similar they are to everyone else. I'm so glad you came by. I do tons of content. Listen, Peter Day and I just did a live fantasy draft last night. Go check it out on my channel. I love making Packers content. I just did this awesome video about who's the number 1 Bears hater. I did do we have 4 number 1 wide receivers? I've done tons of videos, guys, tons and tons of videos. And yeah, just would encourage you to check out my channel. Hit the like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So I appreciate all your help and support. And I hope you have a good evening, a good day whenever you're watching this later. And yeah, I hope you win your league. Remember, if you want to compete and contend and win a championship, or championships like I do, then you want to follow this kind of advice. Use your brain. Don't just follow consensus rankings blindly. Do some research and win a championship, baby. Peace.